Nice. Okay, we're good now. It was a stream key issue. And now everybody just heard that, which is good. We're on brand, at least.
On brand.
Ready?
Ready.
Week 1.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Beerfield and welcome to week 1. I am at Beerfield Hop, as always, joined by at Beerfield 30. Dan, happy Sunday. Happy NFL season.
Happy Sunday. Not happy body, but we won't get into the
It is not a hangover, folks.
Into the poopy details.
Aw, I see what you did there. Little play on words.
Play on words. Yeah, no, I'm happy. Sunday morning, setting DFS lineups. I worked all day yesterday, so I felt like Saturday went by really fucking quick, which is great.
Yep. Alex, yes, it is the rare outdoor hop. I am live from outside. So I'm at the in-laws, and my wife is in the spare bedroom trying to get my kid to sleep for a nap. And her mom's office sits off of that bedroom, so I didn't want to be loud. So it wasn't really a good place for me to do this inside. So they have a tree stump that they just cut down. Or they didn't cut down the tree stump. Off of a big tree they just shut down. So I am in a camping chair with my laptop on a tree stump. An extension cord ran from the garage. A Distill Oktoberfest in my hand. And, we're going live from outside. So, let's go. Well, first off, we're going to do things a little differently this year. As always, we'll still be watching for and answering all of your start-sit questions. We'll still have the latest ins and outs. But you're going to get a little more actual content on this show, too, where we can't really jam everything into a once-a-week show. So you'll probably also get a mild Thursday night recap, any news that might have come out in the middle. And we're going to update and talk prop bets in this episode as well, on top of injuries. So a lot more content coming to you on Sundays this year is, I think, what we're planning on. Yeah, we actually have a plan for once.
Plan. I mean, we'll see how well we execute it, but we have a plan. That's all that matters.
It is all that matters. Live on YouTube every week, probably between 10 and 10:15, unless it's not. You guys know how it goes by now. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification icon, and let's go ahead and get into some of the news before we roll into injuries. We'll be doing injuries a little bit, it kind of towards the end of the show to kind of make sure we have the latest and greatest here. But news-wise, let's start. DeAndre Swift rumors, literally nothing. Dan Campbell's come out and addressed them. You've probably come to this conclusion on Twitter by now. I'll spare you my thoughts on one of the people that was driving those rumors, because if you listened 2 weeks ago, you already know him. And just say that there's nothing to that. So he is also good to go today. He's been nursing a groin injury. He is going to play.
Yep. Go and play.
Good talk.
Good talk.
In light of the Justice Hill injury, Baltimore signed Devonta Freeman, Le'Veon Bell, and Latavius Murray. It does sound like, from everything coming out of Baltimore, and this is just random timing, like I didn't call up somebody and plan this, but it does sound like, for everything coming out of Baltimore, if you're going to do a speculative ad behind Tyson Williams, it should be Latavius Murray, who could reprise the role he's had throughout his entire career, which is giving you some week-to-week flex value. So, and if Tyson Williams doesn't take hold of that, then, we'll see. But right now it sounds like the Ravens are expecting Latavius Murray to be a little bit more ready than Le'Veon Bell or Devonta Freeman, and be a little bit more effective.
Yeah, it should be Tyson Williams this week, Monday night. So don't forget Ravens, Raiders, Monday night. No reason to get cute, unless a lot of shit happens and you can't control it. But
right now, that doesn't mean don't start Tyson Williams. It's a neutral matchup. If Tyson, it should be a good measuring stick for what Tyson Williams can be.
You may also see Baltimore throw a little bit more. You may see a little more. Well, I won't say maybe not throw more, but definitely more drop backs. There's absolutely no reason to ride a undrafted free agent's first game ever. So
if they throw more, we're going to be talking about Sammy Watkins on Tuesday, aren't we?
Well, it is week 1, and I have picked up and started Watkins everywhere because we know what week 1 Sammy Watkins is. Also, Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews.
Both.
You're starting him anyway if you draft.
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Both pass catchers that are viable in this Baltimore offense should see. I would assume see a little bit more uptick in volume,
sure.
Given their running back injuries and how short term or just how close they were, and how close they were to the start of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. But don't get cute with Latavius Murray this week. Is basically where that comes from. And the way things have been going, Tyson Williams is probably going to be hurt after this game too. Not hoping for that. It's how Baltimore's season's been going so far.
All right. First question, Alex. Half-point PPR, smaller league, last flex spot. He wants to know Ayuk, Sermon, Javonte Williams, Jamar Chase, Cortland Sutton. Right now, he says he's leaning Ayuk and Sermon. There's no need to start Sermon because Mostert's going to get to start.
I do have a league where I'm starting Sermon, but
same here. I'm not saying
option. So for a smaller league, I think it is Ayuk, and that's just because. Hey, look, all those players have question marks. The upside for Ayuk is the highest in week 1. Javonte Williams, I want to see. There's a lot of things we want to see in week 1, right? I want to see, what the split is between Williams and Melvin Gordon.
Yep.
I want to see for Cortland Sutton, 1, targets, but 2, how is he coming off of the knee injury? Trey Sermon, how is San Francisco going to mix it up? I think Sermon's got the second most amount of value there, but how are they going to mix it up? So for me, it's Ayuk.
Yeah, he's the clear, I think, answer. I agree with you on Sutton. And it's not going to be the best matchup in terms of game script. I mean, I forgot who they're playing now. The Giants. So it's going to be a slow paced game. Going to be a lot of running. I don't know how much the scoring is going to be. You need Teddy, who's not a fast paced quarterback, who doesn't want to, liven up the up-tempo-ness.
No, he does a lot at the line. He's a very heady player, very smart quarterback.
Yeah, and then you're not playing Jamar Chase because week 1, you don't need to with Ayuk. He's got a bit of upside because we know who he is as a college player, but you don't need to ride that kind of up and downness. Yeah, Alex, that trade Nick and I made is it's not looking gross. It's just everyone's hurt. At least Troutman's going to play. Everyone's
banged up.
Everyone's hurt besides the 2 draft picks so far.
Jamar Chase, by the way, with everything that's been coming out of camp, including the statement of the NFL is harder to catch because the NFL football is harder to catch because it doesn't have white lines on it. You're going to want to see it before you try to ham it out.
Yeah, I mean, I know earlier on, and I think I don't say earlier on, but maybe mid-off season, it was probably when it was going his highest in terms of when redrafts were just coming back, and
there's been nothing.
Some of the early drafting, yeah, you did spend some capital on him, more than likely. Hopefully, you have some more viable replacements to start.
He's a high-end speculative stash right now.
Yeah, it might be a little slow for him.
Yeah, might starting him. Not starting him. Speaking of a little bit slow, I'm going to jump around here a little bit as we flow into things. But speaking of a little bit slow, Saquon Barkley is cleared to play, but they're expected to ease him back in, and I think this is something that we all anticipated with Barkley.
I've heard multiple reports on this. I've heard there's no touch limit. They're just not going to give him the 80% of the touches, or not touches.
Well, it's kind of the same thing, right? We're gonna ease,
but he's not going to be used sparingly. That seems.
We're going to ease
That's an odd choice of words. That's an odd choice of words for.
I think that they mean the same thing, right? Nobody said he's on a pitch count. They just said that we're going to use him sparingly and ease him back in. And what you just said is they're not going to give him 80% of the volume, which would be about his normal volume share, which same thing, right? He's not going to see normal workload.
I hear you sparingly as a little more than just, okay, instead of giving him 80%, we'll give him 65. You sparingly sounds like a third down back roll that's going to be spelling Devonta Booker week 1. That's what that sounds like. I mean, I don't believe that to be true. It was just an odd
way that you interpret
choice of words.
It's the way you interpret the words. I don't interpret it that way. Use sparingly to me is based on what your normal usage would be. We're going to use you less than that.
Yeah.
So
another question, Alex. Full PPR pick 2.
Okay.
Judy, Higgins, Chase Claypool, Marquez Callaway.
It's Higgins. Callaway's a no-go for me.
Yeah, he's gonna draw Alexander. Yeah, he's gonna be locked down probably week 1.
Higgins and probably Claypool. I think Claypool they're gonna create a lot of matchup problems with.
Yeah, it's definitely Higgins. I'm torn between, which is crazy. So one thing on DFS, Higgins costs less than both Boyd and Chase week 1. So deal with that information as you will. But Higgins is the clear answer.
Let me look something.
Judy and Claypool, I'm torn on because I like. You could see Buffalo and Pittsburgh somehow enter a shootout. Buffalo's offense, if it doesn't miss a step from last year,
and if Ben comes back better than last year, at least to start the season, slinging the rock.
We know that Pittsburgh will draw up plays for Claypool specifically, not just to be used downfield, but to be used short, screens, and they're going to use his athletic ability. I don't fault you if you want to go Judy. I think I would also lean Claypool I think it's upside. I think the matchup leans to higher upside. I mean, if you have Bill Z, you can't really, it is what it is. I mean, Bill Z can go off and Claypool can just catch 8 passes for 100 yards and you're still fine. So
Vegas has Claypool and Judy at the same over-under on yards, looking to see what Vegas tells me here. But I think that it's Claypool because I think that game, I don't see a scenario, and I know Pittsburgh's got a solid defense, but it's hard for me to see the scenario where where Pittsburgh's defense stifles Buffalo to where they can get out of a passing game script. And we're not.
I can definitely see this being. We talked about this on Thursday too. It could be a low scoring game. These are both really good defenses.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see why there's a torn between Judy and Claypool. I agree that I would lean Claypool. I just like its upside, but I could definitely see a scenario where both defenses are on the top of their game, and this is
But I have a
hard 16 to 10 game.
I have a hard time seeing where if Buffalo's defense is on top of their game and it's low scoring, that Najee Harris is efficient enough for them to stop targeting Chase Claypool.
Yes, he could still definitely get his targets. I don't think a game script will take Claypool out of it.
That's where I've been going the whole time.
Okay.
I don't see a game script where Claypool gets dropped out of it versus Judy. I don't see that one going high pass volume. So, I think that the floor for the two players is the same. The ceiling for Claypool is much higher.
Yeah. It's a lot easier for me to see Buffalo, Pittsburgh being more up tempo, lot more offensive plays, which is obviously what we want for fantasy. So
right, exactly. So yeah. Okay, good stuff, Alex. Got us arguing early.
Well, that takes the Pittsburgh Buffalo game out of it. I don't talk about them anymore.
Right. Well, in arguing early, arguing where really we've just been saying the same damn thing.
Yeah, it's how we generally argue. It's we somehow find a way to agree, 5 to 10 minutes afterwards.
Yeah. Cam Newton gave his first interview since being cut and stated Mac Jones would have been uncomfortable with him as backup, and there are not 32 quarterbacks better than him in the NFL. On the surface, the second part of that comment, I'm happy he buys it. I'm not sure I necessarily buy that there aren't 32 quarterbacks in the league better than what Cam Newton showed us last year.
I think he's top 32 easy. I think it's first. He's 1 year removed from getting COVID. So he's in a system that isn't going to ask as much as the Patriots will ask of him.
remember, he didn't say starting QBs. He said QBs.
I think I think also right now, no. I'm sure we could, Washington. I'm sorry, but I would much rather have Cam Newton than Ryan Fitzpatrick.
See, I wouldn't because Fitzpatrick showed me more over the last 3 years.
New York Giants, I would much rather have Cam Newton than Daniel Jones. So.
Okay, but somebody's got a better backup than Daniel Jones and Cam Newton somewhere.
True. Like, yeah. He should go, and it's his first statement, which throws me off that that Mac Jones would be afraid of him as his back. Like,
well,
what the fuck does that even mean?
Uncomfortable, and that makes sense to me, right? Because
Zach Moss is inactive.
Oh shit!
Hold on, that's actually kind of important.
Yeah, we'll come back to that.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I gotta. That's what Alex just put in there.
Alex is normally ahead of this shit for us. He helps us out.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. He's a healthy inactive. He might get traded. How would he?
Baltimore game, Colin.
They might. God, imagine wanting to keep Devin Singletary over Zach Moss. It might be. I wouldn't be shocked if something comes out that he violated a team rule. That's actually pretty fucking weird. I got to go back through leagues now.
Healthy inactive. I don't have. I'm not.
How are we supposed to replace his 5 points? We'll just give it to Matt Breida.
Yeah, Matt Breida.
Matt Breida is now. Well, he's been the best back in that. But let's be real. Matt Breida, when healthy, is the best back in that backfield, anyways.
Yeah,
he's just never healthy.
Pick your backup running back. Anybody got? I don't even know. Damian Williams lying around. Oh wow. Somebody go check on Ball Blast for us.
Oh boy. Oh no.
So anyway, Cam Newton. We spent enough time on Zach Moss.
Hold on. Trey Sermon is also inactive for week 1.
Oh shit. Okay, I got to take care of that one.
Which is I'm not shocked because it's early season. I'm also a bit shocked because he was a round 3 pick, and Mostert and Elijah McClain are his. Like, they cut Wayne Gallman. I had to believe when they cut Wayne Gallman, it's because of Trey Sermon and Elijah McClain have probably played above.
Sermon's a healthy
Jamaica.
Huh? Is he getting Jeff Wilson?
Oh my God.
Where he's healthy and active until
I'm just laughing more about it because I've never bought into Trey Sermon. Not to say that I want to see him, fail in the NFL. That'd be the wrong. That'd be the wrong thing. But it's just
okay.
When your round 3 pick is not playing week 1, and injury isn't the problem of it, or suspension, that's an issue.
You ready for this one?
Yeah.
I'm YOLO starting Jalen Reagor.
That's not it's a great matchup against Atlanta. There's going to be a lot of points scored in that game.
I'm looking at who do I replace Trey Sermon with on this roster. Bernard already played, and it's basically Hyde, Kirk, Lazard, Amon-Ra, St. Brown, Herndon, or Reagor. Reagor's got the best matchup.
Yeah. Fuck, I had to go through my DFS stuff because Mostert's going to be great. All right, Alex, another question, half-point PPR. He needs to pick one from this slew of shit here. Mecole Hardman, MVS, Manny Sanders, Jalen Reagor, Nyheim Hines. It's between Reagor and Hines for me.
And Joe, we'll get to you in just a second, bud.
And Joe will be right.
Yeah,
we'll use right afterwards. It's either Reagor or Hines. I mean, I get the allure of Hardman. It should be another high shootout game against Cleveland.
He had to type that before I started on my I'm YOLO starting Jalen.
He typed that in as you, or he posted the comment as you were saying you're going to YOLO start Reagor. Reagor has a great matchup. Hardman's got a high scoring game script matchup for him, but it's also Hardman. He may go off week 1, and that's a risk if you want to take.
You got 2 better options there than Hardman.
I like the Seattle matchup because that can also get up tempo, and you may see a little more Hines.
Let me ask you this, Alex: do you need floor, or do you need somebody to go off? What's your projections look like? Are you playing from behind? Because
I think at this case,
I think that changes the answer for him. If I'm looking for upside, I want Reagor. If I just need somebody that's not going to kill me, I'm going to go with Hines.
I mean, that's tough. I mean, unless he's staring down the barrel of a Dak Cooper stack or a Brady Brown stack. I just need to beat Chris in Dynasty. I mean, if you're going for floor, Hines will likely give you 10 points. Like if you're betting on who's going to get 10 points between Hines and Rager, Hines will probably have the higher percentage, especially in that scoring. I still go for upside. I mean, it's week 1. It's fine. But I have no problem with Hines or Rager.
Dynasty League. Hold on. Let me go look at this matchup since we can actually see this one.
All right. So Joe wants to know. We'll get back to while you're looking.
Come back, Alex. I'm going to look this up.
Sanders scoring. He needs one for the flex. Chase Edmonds, the Kareem Hunt, Damian Harris. I'm assuming is what he meant, not Deion Harris. Tyson Williams, Antonio Gibson. So Gibson's the answer. With
Gibson is the answer. Yeah.
Gibson he's going to get the touches. He's going to get all the goal line work. You likely spent the high draft pick for him,
and it's standard. So
Kissick
is not. I mean, it's standard. So I mean, what is being taken away from Antonio Gibson by J.D. McKissick is not something you generally care about. So,
and Hunt will always battle with Chubb, especially for the goal line work. Damian Harris, should be the lead back. It's not going to be as. I don't trust the scoring in that game as much.
Rough matchup. I mean, look, I know we said Washington and the Chargers should be a fun defensive matchup. That's because of pass rushes, not because of run defense.
Yeah. So, you're going to play Gibson. He said Alex said he was leaning Sanders and all that. So there is, I mean, again, we talked about Buffalo, Pittsburgh. We talked about what that matchup could yield in terms of high output scoring. It's one of those, like in DFS, you want to have a little exposure, maybe with the game stack in there, because that game could go high scoring if Buffalo, gets up early and maybe Big Ben isn't as washed up as we think.
Oh, dude, he's projected at a 96% chance of winning. It's Hines.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, at that point, if he's 96, it doesn't really matter.
He's
then
projected by 40 points.
Yeah, okay. It doesn't matter who you play in that spot. You can leave that spot empty, and you probably still feel comfortable.
Yeah, but I would say
play whoever the fuck you want.
But logic
play
Hines over Sanders is
or Rager, yeah,
or Rager. Rager you like because of the points that could be scored in that matchup.
Yeah, I like the upside.
Yeah, ultimately speaking, you don't know how targets are going to fall in Philly yet. For the Colts, yes, you got Wentz, but Hines just got paid. He just signed a 3 or 18 million extension. He's going to get his receiving work in. It's PPR league. So
he's the new Geo.
Yeah, he is the new Geo. He's the new James White. He's
thanks, Joe. Thanks, Alex.
Lock for 80 plus targets this year. Sanders, you're looking at a guy who is going to be
Hines 80 plus targets.
Second.
That's a lot of targets for running backs, especially a backup.
He's done it.
I know he's done it. Last year, I get it.
My phone.
Like I said, I'm fine. You're up by so many, like you're projected. And I know like we don't need to get cocky with that, but I mean, I understand why Hines over the rest of them. So it's fine. Hines is probably the correct answer, but anyways, that's a lot. Jesus. Thanks NFL for dropping that shit on us. No Moss, no sermon.
He also did hold on, target wise. Sorry. He also did 80 plus his rookie year. 76 last year, 81 in his rookie season for Naeem Hines. So
he is becoming off. No. I mean, 2018, I think Matt got hurt that year.
Yeah.
Last year or 2 years last year it made sense because it was just him and JT.
Well, and
then JT battled injuries and he got off to a slow start.
And you're relying on Pittman or Paris Campbell to take over as the one without TY there, and there, that might happen gradually. I mean, we saw flashes from Pittman last year that we really liked.
I like that game for a game. Like I think that game's gonna go over too.
I do too. So.
Which is great for Hines because obviously more up tempo, more passing. It's not gonna hurt Jonathan Taylor, because he will be in some of those plays, especially all the goal line work. But
yeah,
Hines will get his own, and maybe this could lean to them. Maybe what we saw with Dallas on Thursday night, and we start to see a little more work with both JT and Hines out there, because Hines can fill that slot role.
Yeah,
they don't have Ty, so they're down to just Pittman and Campbell. Maybe Hines gets a little more work out of the slot, which is ultimately what you want to see. It's just more snaps with them, even if JT's out there.
Yep, and inactives are slowly coming in. So
I assumed
Special Agent Tom Kennedy is inactive.
Special Agent Tom Kennedy.
Keelan Cole is not going to play for the Jets. So Jets, by the way,
Elijah Moore.
It's Elijah Moore.
Fire him up.
Jamison Crowder's out too. Corey Davis and Elijah Moore. Fire those guys up. Go start them. Go start those two. Corey Davis, by the way, just
better hope Carolina can keep up. That game's going to either be really fun or really ugly.
Corey Davis, by the way, just a reminder, my favorite late round wide receiver pick this year.
Wayne Gallman's also inactive. Not that surprising.
That's not surprising.
Josh Reynolds is inactive, so
saw that
I don't know who their wide receiver 3 is.
Reynolds is hurt, and I don't think it matters. His 5 targets are going to go to Brown or Jones.
As they should.
Anthony Miller inactive for the Texans, and they don't have DQT, so
Rondale or Elijah? You're gonna go Elijah. I love Rondale Moore. But Elijah's got the clear path to targets this week. I love Rondale's matchup better. And I also just love the pace of play in that game. Elijah's got a clear path to breakout week 1 easy.
And Elijah's got it's the clear. They're both in the same position when everybody's healthy.
Yeah.
But you're not starting Rondale Moore, who could be, 3rd, 4th on the team in targets, over Elijah Moore, who should pretty easily be 2nd. So,
Rondale Moore should be saved for DFS or for a true Hail Mary if you got a lot of injuries.
Yeah, I know people love Rondale Moore and excited to start Rondale Moore. This is not the week that you start Rondale Moore.
I mean, this is you want these type of matchups. You want potential shootout matchups, but
you want this.
You also want to know where his role is in that offense.
You want
at
this
least
matchup
a little
week
know
5 or week 4 when you're pretty sure what the role's going to be, not in week 1 where it's like, how the hell are they going to use AJ Green?
Don't be surprised.
Though with Rondale Moore here now.
Though don't be surprised if Moore does break out week 1, then sure, just don't be shocked if it happens. But Elijah's the answer.
Yeah. Yep. Elijah's the answer with Crowder being out. That's what makes Elijah the answer. I don't know that Keelan Cole was even going to run ahead of Denzel Mims with him being out.
Well, Cole was supposed to be. He was the week 1 starter with Crowder and Davis. It wasn't supposed to be Moore. More went in for Crowder. Cole just gives you a little more condensed target share to the starters,
and it's going to get Mims on the field. Is the other thing you like if you're a Mims dynasty person is there's going to be a little. You
need Mims on the field so he's productive. You can trade him
of a chance. Yeah.
Yeah, he's become the new Dante Pettis. I'm sorry, but it's true.
Don't break my heart that way.
I know.
Like Dante Pettis.
All right, let's.
Oh yeah, Emmanuel Sanders also dealing with a foot injury. I still have not seen the Trey Sermon shit come over.
I want to know. It's not injury, but it's not. I mean, I'm sorry, but this is not a great sign for Trey Sermon. It does not look. I mean, he could still be fine. We've seen this from San Francisco, but like we've heard all offseason, Trey Sermon this, Trey Sermon that. Kyle Shanahan hasn't spent this high of a draft pick on a running back since his time in San Francisco. It's been pounded on the fucking table. Trey Sermon. They cut Wayne Gallman. And then everyone was on Trey Sermon. And now he's the healthy scratch for week 1 with no other reason to it.
Maybe he broke a team rule.
I mean, you would think that would be a part of it, though. You think they would say something. Yeah. Skip. They just don't want to lose their best running back in week 1. I get that. I mean, Mostert will give you, 6 healthy games? At least they have, Elijah McClain was a popular.
Right.
Undrafted free agent.
If you're holding Jeff Wilson for when he comes back too.
Jeff Wilson for the 3 touchdown inevitable game that he'll have this year.
Well,
or one game,
and he should be the 2 when he comes back, I guess.
I still think
Trey Sermon gets off the schneid.
Yeah, right. I still think Michelle posts Zach Moss will still outscore Ronald Jones this week.
Well,
that is. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Elijah Mitchell. Thanks, Alex. I keep saying Elijah McClain. I don't know why.
Elijah McClain is a fullback, isn't he?
He's something. He's a name.
He is an NFL player, which is closer than we know.
At least I have the sports right. Zach Moss will still outscore Ronald Jones. Keep an eye out. There might be a reason why Zach Moss is a healthy scratch in terms of maybe he gets traded.
Skip all in and Mostert for DFS. Yeah, definitely.
He is a great DFS play this week.
Is
Detroit and perfect game script. He might be the RB1 this week.
As Matthew Berry just pointed out, Raheem must start.
Raheem must start.
It is how he.
I gotta go in deep.
I don't disagree with that. Okay, so double back to Cam Newton.
He'll be a backup somewhere.
He doesn't want to sign to play a backup. That was the other part of this report.
I can also see maybe he gets paired back up with Ron Rivera.
But real quick on the Mac Jones uncomfortable part, that makes sense because if Mac Jones, if you got Cam Newton behind you and you struggle at all, you are going to get no leeway to struggle, period. Because people are going to start clamoring for Cam Newton. He's a big name. Your casual fans are why are we starting this Mac Jones guy? Why aren't we starting Cam? Like, it's a pressure off situation with Jarrett Stidham behind you instead of Cam Newton.
I understand. I understand that being a part of the reason why the Patriots cut him. I don't think Mac Jones is afraid of Cam Newton.
I don't think Mac Jones is afraid of Cam Newton, but media pressure does get to players.
Well, it does. And it just this sounds kind of like
arrogant.
It sounds more arrogant than him saying that he's the top 32 quarterback. I think most people know that.
Yeah.
B, I don't really give a shit if Cam Newton thinks that Mac Jones is afraid of him. Mac Jones isn't afraid of him.
Maybe we'll play a game on Thursday when we have a little more time called Would You Take Them Over Cam Newton and put that to the test.
Would you take him over Cam Newton? Like I said, I already threw out Daniel Jones, so I know that we have at least one.
I'm going to find a backup somewhere.
And Derek Carr. I take Cam Newton over Derek Carr.
Oh, yeah, Drew Lock. Sorry, take Drew Lock over Cam Newton.
I would take Cam Newton over both Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater.
I would not.
I know you wouldn't, but I would. We're not talking about just you.
Well, we're talking about our
I'm a Cam
opinions.
dude. I know.
You can be a Cam dude. I'm a Cam dude 10 years ago.
All right.
Texans, speaking of stupid shit, still seeking a combination of 6 players and draft picks for Deshaun Watson.
I love how it says it can be 1 pick and 5 players or 5 player or 5.
It also doesn't say what quality either. Here's 5 players off my practice. Here's 2 7th rounders and 5 players off my practice squad. No team's gonna do that without conditions tied to the picks, though. So he's
no team's gonna do that at all. Like they're not getting 6 players in a deal for Watson.
Or 6 draft picks.
No.
The Texans front office is consistently on crack.
They'll probably get between 3 and 4. And maybe 5 if they can get like a late day 3 pick 2 years from now. They'll be like, throw in a 2024 7th round.
Yeah, we plan on trading all of our draft picks before then.
We want to get the 6 players. Give us your late picks the next 3 years.
Oh my God.
That's ridiculous. Fucking Houston, worse. It's like a worse ran franchise. So are they run worse than the Detroit of their late 90s, early 2000s? Because it's got to be close.
Yeah, it's really bad. I'll put it that way. I have not seen. Let's put it this way. Washington's antics, if you will, notwithstanding.
Yeah.
From a culture standpoint, I have not seen a worse run franchise than the Houston Texans.
That's true. A fair point.
And that's
the Michael Pirine inactive.
Oh no.
My God, maybe Michael Carter will be a thing this week.
He's active, right?
He's been more active than Trey Sermon.
Fair.
When they win like 10 picks, 10 picks between each other.
Yep. couple other notes. We already talked about the Nyheim Hines extension. We already talked about the Ravens. Some Thursday night cleanup. Dallas's right tackle, Lyle Collins, is suspended for the first 5 games for the next 5 games for substance abuse violations. So they'll be without him. Bad news.
Hopefully they'll get Zach Martin back by next week.
Yeah, because we saw how ugly the offense is when they're missing multiple pieces on that offensive line.
Yeah, it can be kind of ugly.
Year.
Yeah. I mean, it's bad for any team. It's made it makes Dallas look a bit worse.
Yep. Michael Gallup set to miss 3 to 5 weeks with the calf strain following Thursday night. If they're gonna throw 50 times, Cedric Wilson is the next guy up. So
Cedric Wilson is definitely a guy you need the roster in Dynasty.
Yep. And Ronald Jones struggled to get over his Thursday night fumble, according to Bruce Arians. No word on when he'll get out of the doghouse. I'm guessing Keyshawn Vaughn's going to be active next game.
He had a cryptic tweet too. I don't know if you saw his cryptic tweet.
Oh, I did see it. Yeah.
I laugh because again, people really blew it up like it's meant something. Like, oh my God, he wants to get traded. I'm like, I don't think any player.
Yeah, it was like.
I don't think any player wants to leave Tampa Bay.
Yeah, that to me seemed more like he knows he's in the doghouse, but when you call my number, I'll be ready.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but he's not much. He's not much better or worse than Leonard Fournette or Keith. Like we've said it all off season. You wanted to avoid this backfield.
Yeah,
just it's gonna be like this. It'll be Fournette some weeks. It's gonna be like a shittier ran at San Francisco backfield because these running backs won't be hyper productive. So Alex got one more for us. Rondale Moore, Manny Sanders, or Paris Campbell.
Oh, man.
He's leaning Rondale right now. From what it sounds like.
It's hard for me to take Rondale over.
I mean, these are all YOLO plays.
It's hard for me to take Rondale over Campbell, though, too, as again, clear a path to targets.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Campbell. I just don't want to. I
might be.
I just don't want
that.
Manny. I just don't want Manny Sanders. I'm gonna play one of the more explosive, fun
He's dealing
players.
with a foot injury too.
Why don't you just flip a coin? Remember the flip a coin gag? Why don't we just flip a coin? I don't have flip a coin. Bottle cap
or a beer cap because I'm in the wilderness.
Well, hold on. I have a coin. I don't have bottle caps next to me because it's really a coin flip between Moore and Campbell for me.
It is just gonna flip because they both have upside. They both. I mean, like I said, Campbell's got a little bit clearer path to targets, but it's only by like one spot on a quarterback.
We're going to go with a dirty nickel.
Okay.
It's going to be heads will be Rondale Moore and tails will be Paris Campbell.
I still think it's Paris Campbell. I don't care. I don't trust the coin right now.
I can't even catch it. Well, the coin said Paris Campbell, so
okay, I trust the coin. It's. I feel.
All right, Skip. We'll see you, buddy.
Thanks, Skip. I feel strongly that it's Campbell.
Yeah. You're gonna start upside anyways.
Yeah.
Scott Fishbowl, you want to score points as much as you need to win, which I know it seems very obvious, but
see, Indy's without Xavier Rhodes. It should turn in. This should be a high-scoring game.
It will be.
So.
Seattle will also. I mean, as soon as that's one of the big sneaky games to go over 50 this week.
I think it will. So yeah.
Yep, you can go Campbell.
Yep, Campbell for me too. Again, this is not a Rondale Moore hating show. This is a Rondale Moore could easily be fourth in line for targets there show.
This is a great this would be the situation where you'd be like, okay, maybe I do play Rondale Moore this week.
Right. Absent Paris Campbell, you do.
Yeah,
in my opinion. So, but Campbell's a guy I debated on this week, so I can tell you I didn't debate on Rondale Moore. It's probably because I didn't pay for any shares, but
I have a lot of Rondale Moore.
Pissed off at me, Wall Street.
All right, thanks, Alex, buddy. Have fun grabbing those beers. Good luck this week.
Indeed. Keeping it moving. Akello Witherspoon, inactive for he's defensive back for the Steelers. He's inactive. Benjamin inactive for Arizona. That's not surprising.
Yeah.
For all the people that are like, oh my God, the Seahawks have 5 running backs. Alex Collins is inactive.
That's amazing.
Shocker.
He's going back to Baltimore.
Right. Yeah, Trish Thurman, healthy.
Dwayne Haskins inactive. That means Oh no. Yeah.
Rudolph.
That means Mason Rudolph is the backup to Big Ben. Oh God.
You guys are without Cam Dantzler and Anthony Barr and Christian Darrisaw this week.
Yeah, I knew Darrisaw wasn't going to play.
Yeah, Dantzler and Barr are also inactive. So
Barr's been battling coming back healthy anyways.
Yeah.
I don't think he has been far off from the player he once was.
And Dantzler is one of your big one of your, I don't want to say big, but one of your acquisitions that's supposed to help improve the secondary. So a little rough start there. That does overall downgrade, one, your Vikings defense in that matchup. Two, missing Darrisaw is, Vikings offensive line.
Darrisaw was never going to play. Darrisaw was never going to play week 1. I don't think that was ever a question. Maybe Barr. Dantzler was our third corner. So
yeah.
Yes, that's a bit of a hit, especially against the Cincy 3, but it's not a death sentence.
No, it's not death sentence. It's a slight downgrade. I wasn't trying to make it sound like it.
Yeah.
It's slight downgrades to the passing game.
I gotta. Oh, sorry.
Jamar Jefferson's inactive. Truthers everywhere are crying.
Forgot he was still in Detroit. Just how much I didn't care.
All right, let me roll through a few other things here.
Let's go through
them. You got any prop bets you want to look at here? I kind of don't at the moment.
No, I gradually went through them. Week 1, I didn't see anything super.
And really what I did look at, I didn't see anything that super moved either from what was posted Thursday or that was super surprising either.
If you want to go through, and not like you, but just people out there want to, go through and gloss over receptions total. But most of these are going to be pretty fair week 1.
We will be using them to help try to decide some of your start sit decisions too, because Vegas seems to know some things.
Well, yeah. Some of the best ways to bet is to have an idea of what Vegas thinks, because Vegas has a decent idea of how to do things.
They do.
They do.
A couple other cleanup items for injuries. Austin Eckler going to be full go for week 1. So that Justin Jackson discussion earlier in the week, just forget about it. Saquon Barkley, we already talked about that. He's back in and used sparingly. Lions are going to be without Taylor Decker. He's going to miss 3 weeks on IR with a finger injury.
That's kind of big.
Penei Sewell's being moved to left tackle. That is kind of big for as much of a statue as Goff is.
Yeah, that hurts Goff. That it's already a really difficult matchup against San Francisco. You may see a little less efficiency from the running game, but the overall offense is impacted by losing Taylor Decker.
Yeah, it definitely is. Your overall offense is impacted by losing Taylor Decker.
But you're only playing Swift and Hawkinson. I guess Goff in 2 QB leagues if you have no other option. But
it's really Swift and Hawk, and then
and that's
without
pretty much
Decker,
it.
I'm going to be watching how they use St. Brown because he should be the mid to intermediate route guy. Hurts Tyrell Williams.
Yeah, because they won't.
That's not a
the long pass won't be developed. You're not playing those players
this week, but you're not playing them anyway. It's a tough matchup. So Traquan Smith placed on IR with the hamstring injury. So Lil Jordan Humphrey is going to be the second wide receiver behind Marquez Callaway.
Yeah, him and something Harris, D Harris. Blanking on his first name.
Deontay
Harris.
Is that right? Who? Maybe
that's their others.
Joe meant
that's their number
Dion,
2.
Maybe that's who Joe meant when he said Dion Harris.
Well, either way, so wouldn't have been the answer. I would hope
it would have been Gibson.
I would still hope it'd be Damian Harris, but if it's,
I can kind of see the argument for starting somebody not Marquez Callaway against Green Bay though, because they are really thin at corner behind Alexander.
There's just nothing you want to try to bet on. Like if Traquan was playing, then you could bet between
Traquan, but
either Traquan or Callaway. You just hope that player doesn't get Jair, but Jair now is going to likely shadow Callaway the whole game.
Yep, and with Traquan Smith going on IR,
Adam Troutman. Might be
Adam Troutman might be
tight end play.
But they have good safeties, too. So, I mean, Green Bay does. Really, if you're looking for a weakness to keep up with Green Bay, it's going to be in those wide receiver 2-3 spots. You just don't know if Harris or Humphrey is going to get – one of them is going to get volume.
It just depends how much they decide to still go away from them, because you look at like where the targets should go. It should just be Kamara, Callaway, and Troutman. And then, I mean, unless maybe they won't shadow Callaway. Maybe they don't view Callaway as
that much of a threat.
It's that much of a dominance. And then you have one side of the field type of thing.
Yeah, could be. We'll see how the targets fall out, and, we'll have a little bit more for you week one. It's just one of those offenses that, look, people a lot of times try to predict what an NFL offense is going to do for week one. A fruitless effort, right? Unless you have historical data to go on with the players and coaches involved. And for the Saints, you do a little bit towards the end of last year with the same set, different quarterback. So.
Yep, exactly. Someone said they're going to start Tyson Williams over Josh Jacobs, and it's not even close. It's bold.
I disagree that it's not even close. I mean, I think it's close, but I can see the argument. It is bold.
It's bold. Just bold.
The Jacobs hit is fun. I hope he proves a lot of people wrong.
May not be this week, but he'll definitely have his opportunities too.
He will. Nelson Aguilar questionable. Jameson. Yeah, Jameson Crowder out, COVID. Look, you don't want to get cute with New England wide receivers against Miami if you don't have to. But
you don't want to get too cute week one. I mean, I think so many people, they draft their team, they took the players where they took them, and then as soon as any bit of news comes out and we get closer and closer to week one, it's like
people start
they just forget
and tinkering
and this isn't just a start your studs, but this is you drafted these players where you drafted them for a reason,
right? Like you expect them to start,
you expect them to play well, or you expect them to do well. And week one is the 1 week that we have zero information to go off of. Like there's going to be teams and players that we think are good that'll suck, and vice versa. Like you'll get some surprises out there. And we've seen, like we look at these running, like we've seen run defense that look good on paper. All it takes is one injury, one nick up in that game, and it's done for and then this, so on running back who's supposed to struggle week one will go off, or a receiver who's supposedly supposed to get shadowed by this top corner. All of a sudden he ends up being better than what we expected, and he still goes off. So you don't need to get too cute. Like stop like these fucking questions about, should I play, T. Higgins or Marquez Callaway? Like I didn't see that on there, but just in general, like should I play? I know I took Jamar Chase week, in 6, but should I play Amon-Ra St. Brown over him? Like shit like that. It's like you took him in a position where you took him, for a reason.
You did. And you took him there to start him. Look, if you need to know why tinkering's bad, go watch the league.
You don't start thinking about tinkering until after week one, when we have a little more information to us.
Then but week one, you had a plan in mind when you drafted your team. Roll with it. There are going to be some things that are close because of matchup and things like that. That's one thing. But don't let yourself overthink it. That's the biggest thing people do week one. Expected to play Darnell Mooney, Emmanuel Sanders, DeAndre Swift, Noah Fant, Carson Wentz.
Good. Joshua Kelly is inactive.
Is he?
Yep.
Shocker.
Shocking.
It's Larry Roundtree.
Larry Roundtree and Justin Jackson. Your backups to Eckler.
My phone's rebooting. Then I want to do a buy or sell on some of these lines to wrap it up.
Okay. You want me to read them off? I have FanDuel popped up.
I want to text my boss back first and let him know I'm doing it.
Oh, you. Okay. Never mind.
No, I mean, I want to do it on the show. But...
Oh, yeah, I know.
Come on. We're both going to give our opinion. My phone, I keep putting it in the cup holder on this chair, which apparently hits the power button. So I've restarted it about 6 times.
That's hilarious. First touchdown scorer in week 1. Sunday games only, obviously.
Right.
That's funny. Dalvin Cook's got the highest odds at plus 2,200. Who's going to get the first touchdown of the Sunday week 1 season?
All right. Let me get into my FanDuel
We're
account.
having fun with this. Who do I think is going to score a touchdown first?
The first touchdown for week 1?
Yeah, the first touchdown today. Dalvin Cook, 2,200. McCaffrey's 23. Henry's 22 or 26. JT and Gibson are 27. Raheem must start. 3,100. Those are your top 6. Those are your top 6.
Mostert might not be the worst bet there.
It's basically you're betting on that team gets the ball first, and then they go down and score. Like the first team that could score a touchdown could be a special teams player off the kickoff.
It very well could be.
Yeah. So it's a ridiculously dumb bet that I'm gonna make because it's week 1.
It's week 1. Why not?
I'm putting $5 on it, so why the fuck do I care?
Why not?
I'm getting. I can't do it on here. I gotta do it on my phone. The plugin's not working for whatever reason.
Oh. Yeah, mine does that all the time. The FanDuel plugin is kind of dog shit.
It is.
Ooh, bet 20, get 10 for a same game parlay. FanDuel's got some bets. We're not sponsored by them or anything, but
we use FanDuel. We like to use FanDuel for when we, talk about our bets because we both use it.
Yep. Bet 20, get 10. I don't know. I'll bet something. I got money back from Thursday, so. Not because I won anything, because I did a risk-free.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Looking at some of these lines, this is basically a pick 'em. Pittsburgh, Buffalo. Pittsburgh's plus 235.
I'll take. Hold on. I'll take Buffalo. I'll still take Buffalo. I'll take Pittsburgh in the spread. Money line. I don't really care. If you're gonna bet the money line, you might as well take. You can take Buffalo if you think Buffalo will win. I think Pittsburgh's gonna keep the game close. So
yeah, I like the spread a lot more on this one than the line, and I agree that it's Pittsburgh. But Jets, Panthers. Jets plus 160 against Carolina. I like the Jets money line. I like the Jets line here.
Yeah, if you. This is probably one of the better plus odds money lines you can take this week. Outside of maybe it's just maybe Philly, but I'm not betting on Philly. But
the more we talk about this Jets game, the more I like the Jets in this game.
Between them and the Chargers,
yeah,
because the Chargers are also plus odds, but better odds. Maybe the Dolphins, but man, the Browns are only plus 188. Money line on the road against Kansas. I figured that'd be higher. Feels very low.
It does. Also plus 3.5 for the Jets. So
I'd take the money.
I'd like the money line a little more.
I'd take the money line because that game
much
could
better
be
odds.
Yeah, we don't. There's so much overhaul in that offense and coaching staff.
Right.
We have no idea how that offense is going to fluctuate.
We expect.
And you're missing your top 2 starting receivers too. Yeah, I know we love Davis and Moore, but you're still missing 2 starting receivers.
You are. That's all right. I still think I really like the Jets. I don't know. Just it's a feeling, man.
No. I like that bet. I may even put money on that, but
I definitely am going to put money on that.
There you go.
Jacksonville, Houston. Jacksonville only negative 176 for Jacksonville in that game. Favored by 3.5.
Road dog. Again, just like the Jets, a lot of changes on both the offensive side and the coaching staff.
They're not a road dog. Negative odds. They're favored.
I know, but
they're not.
They're not getting more points. I meant to say like they're a big overhaul. They shouldn't. They should be favored. You can say that it should be higher.
Yeah.
This would be a lot higher had they been at home. I think
Right.
they're just giving the respect to Houston and Tyrod. I take the money line. Tyrod. This one I wouldn't even bet. I have no interest. It feels like a trap. I wouldn't be shocked if Houston wins this game.
My boss said he had a conflicting meeting on a Sunday.
That's how that.
I have some comments I could make, but I don't want them recorded on the internet. Cardinals Titans. Cardinals are dogs here on the road. It's another plus odds game that I kind of
I'm just taking the over. I'm not even going to try to bet what the spread or the money line because they're both very even teams.
Is that now the highest over-under of the week?
No, Browns and Chiefs are still 54.5.
Are they?
Yeah.
Man, that is freaking high, though.
I want to say that game opened up at 52. I think that game's gone up a full point. I think it has insane.
I think it has too.
That's a lot of betting on. That's a lot of over bets. A lot of money coming in.
And I still think that game easily goes over, but only 2.5 point spread on that one. So throw the spread out.
Yeah, I would even. Yeah, I'm just betting the over under in that game. I mean, if I'm betting anything, it's the Cardinals to win. If I'm betting the money line or spread.
Eagles are plus odds. You mentioned that already against the Falcons on the road. See, another offensive overhaul, another plus odds game that could very winnable win, and it just updated.
Yeah, it just changed.
Yeah,
I watched this game. I'm just taking the over too. I don't like. I have no idea how the Eagles and Falcons offense are going to look. What I do know and what you know that both defenses are garbage.
Bad. Yeah,
and a 48.5 points is Vegas giving a lot of respect to how bad the offenses could be. So I'm taking the over.
Yeah, and
that's probably my favorite play this week.
And I don't necessarily like the offenses can be bad. I just think this is a shootout. This one easily could be 50+ points.
This one could easily be.
Do you look at alternate points on this one?
I mean, I could. I can go look at the alternate game totals,
here,
but
let me go look at
I'll pull
alternates
it up
here.
I like the idea of it's gone. The money line's gone down again. Plus 152 now instead of 158.
There's no over 50.5 here. It goes from 49.5 to 51.5. They're going in 2-point increments. I would honestly take over 49.5 or over 51.5. Probably 49.5 at plus 100.
Yeah, I'll take even odds at 49.5.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. Chargers and the football team, you already mentioned this. It's another plus odds game for the Chargers that they could win. 45-5 is the over-under here. I don't know. This is kind of one I don't want to bet because
there's so many different scenarios that
you've got
that this game could play out in.
You've got two really good defenses with a Chargers offense that could be really good and a Washington offense that can be explosive. The great pass rushes, good running games. It's just, you could tell me this goes over 45 and I wouldn't be surprised. You could tell me it stays under and I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. It's a 2.5 point spread. It's a coin flip of what team I think is going to win. This is just a game I want to watch and enjoy without anything tied to it. I
think if I'm betting anything in this game, it's the Chargers plus 2.5. This could be the game. So Fitzmagic, we know every single year Fitzpatrick will always have one of those high turnover games. Chargers will have
week one. Otherwise, you're going to see Kyle out or Taylor Heineke.
This is the healthiest will achieve this Chargers defense, and we know just how good the Chargers defense could be if they are all healthy.
And they are all healthy right now. So.
And right now they are. I like Chargers plus 2.5. I'll take I'll take that spread. I don't have to worry about the money line so much. I may even just take the money line. But like you said, like the spread itself, it feels like a trap to go over, and the over has the better odds. It's pretty much even money. It could be pretty ugly though.
Speaking of ugly games, I don't want to touch Niners Lions.
We no. Move on.
Seahawks Colts. Colts are underdogs at home.
That's interesting.
Over under on it's 48.5, and I think this is a great over game.
Yeah, over. I do like Colts spreader money line. Pick your poison. If you're trying to make a little more money, go money line. This game could be close.
Yeah,
I think the Colts getting a bit disrespected at home is a bit odd. I think maybe at the very least they should be like, a +1 -1.
I just think it's enough of a new look offense with players coming back healthy and starting quarterback and everything that
I get it. I do.
I get it. I think Vegas doesn't really know what to do with it.
It's one of those things. It's one of those. Let's see how week 1 goes for the Colts, and then we'll readjust.
Yeah, but I love the over for that game.
Yep.
Colts defense is around league average, and then you drop Xavier Rhodes from that. And the fact that Seattle with a good offense, that game should
I
go
just
over.
hope that it remains close or the Colts are up. So Seattle is throwing the football. The worst you can see for this game is Seattle gets up by a couple touchdowns. Yeah. And it just becomes a grind fest and it ends up going under. Like that's the only concern there is that Wentz and the Colts just can't keep up.
Yeah, Vikings Bengals plus 130 for the Bengals money line. 3-point spread.
So this one I always find it like I think my heart tells me I hate betting in Vikings games. Like I think this game betting the over is probably your best bet or taking the Bengals to win.
Yeah.
Which is oddly enough because I think Minnesota will either beat the shit out of them or the Bengals will just like eck out a win. Like I don't think Cincy blows out Minnesota. I just don't think that happens.
See, I'm a little different. I like the Bengals at plus. I mean, field goal, but I like them at plus 3.
A plus 3 is also good. It could be last second field goal. Vikings are up, 6 points and, or not 6 points, maybe Vikings are up 10 or 8. And then, Cincinnati gets that late touchdown, but misses the 2 extra point.
Field goal to win it, but then just take the money line. So.
Yeah.
Dolphins, Patriots. Dolphins, road dogs.
I like Miami.
I like Miami
money line.
Yeah.
Miami money line. It's probably the only thing I'll bet in this game. Yep. Over under, you feel like could be more. I feel like the over is a trap and it's better odds.
Yeah, that is a really low over under for week 1.
Yeah,
not the lowest, but pretty low.
We'll see. We'll see what Mac Jones' debut looks like.
Yeah, like the Dolphins' dogs. Cleveland, Kansas City. Cleveland's dogs here as they should be, but only plus 188, which they're getting a lot of respect there.
That's nuts.
Over under in this game is too high. I could see them going over it. I don't want to touch it. 5.5. Yeah, I'm probably avoiding this game.
Yeah.
Vegas seems to know something about this that we're not picking up on. So
I almost want to just take the over, just a little bet. Like this game, it feels like a shootout, and it's being respected as a shootout. I mean, you can see people taking the under, but I think this could be first half under, and then you take the second half over. The game starts off a bit slow.
It's just so
Mahomes seems to be a slow starter. Yeah, I mean it's high. That's why you go if you're gonna go a bit deeper, you can go first half. I'll pull up the first half. You go first half is at 27.5. You can go under first half, slow start, and then you pound the second half over.
If you think that's how it's gonna go, it could go the other way.
It could be. But Mahomes generally starts off a bit slower. He's more. I think it's the second quarter is the one he just never scored. It's either the first or second quarter. He just never scores touchdowns.
When I have to start making up scenarios in my head, for this is the perfect way that for this game to go to hit this, I don't want to bet it.
No, this game could be a shootout from the get-go. I think it could be under first half and then over second half. That's what I think this game goes.
Browns offense could underwhelm you. Wouldn't be the first time that happens. So it's
or the Browns, defense, gets a couple key turnovers and the Chiefs just don't score as many points as people expect.
Yeah, you got a little Browns love going on there too. So
so do you, but
I do like the Browns, but I don't have the emotional ties to them that you do.
That's fair. So a little different for me this year.
Last year too, but
yeah,
I'm out on that game. Another game. Can we skip Broncos Giants again?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Packers Saints. Packers are wow. Somehow Green Bay is still only Wow. Negative 194 on Green Bay.
It's a perfect team to add to your money line parlays.
Yeah, no, I love that. Green Bay is somehow it's only a 3.5 point spread.
It's a lot of respect given to Sean Payton
I'd take
there.
Green Bay over 3.5.
Yeah.
And I'm taking the spread on
Green Bay. This is week 1 of the comeback tour.
Yep.
And hold on, I'm gonna make another one. Last bet of the day.
Bears Rams 8.5 point spread. Nope. Rams negative 390 only in a parlay. And Ravens Raiders
Monday night.
Raiders are dogs at home.
I'll take the 4.5 I'm giving, or I'm taking away from Baltimore. So I'll take Baltimore spread.
Right,
over under seems a bit high. I may even go under there. I don't like doing unders much because I don't like not rooting for points, but I don't know how many points the Raiders score in this game. And that's where I stand. I know I shit on the Raiders a lot, but I mean, there's a reason why a lot of people do. So maybe they surprise week 1, Derek Carr, Darren Waller, Brian Edwards, comes out. Josh, Jacobs has a nice game, but this feels like a Baltimore. Vegas is hitting them pretty hard with the loss of Dobbins and Edwards, and I just don't care. Next man up.
I'm gonna throw a 10 on a 5-leg parlay.
There you go. Yeah, I'm gonna do my spread. Do a spread parlay. I did over under, I think, one the other day.
Just for fun.
Just to see how it feels.
Great. I'm going Jets money line, Jacksonville money line, over in Eagles Falcons, over in Colts Seahawks, and the Green Bay spread.
Go.
I don't know, FanDuel. Am I enjoying wagering? It depends on how this game goes.
We'll see.
Indeed, we'll see.
We'll see. I'll take Browns, though.
I'll
take Browns sheets over.
One more check for inactives, and we'll wrap this damn thing up. We've been at it for an hour and a half. Longest Sunday streaming a little bit.
We've talked. We've added stuff.
A lot.
Kyle Allen, inactive. Shocking.
Yeah, nothing.
That's the only new one.
Nothing surprising on the Colts, and then the Chargers. Okay. Yep, we're good. So thank you to everybody that tuned in. We'll do this every Sunday, for the most part, like we do every year. Play with the format a little bit as we keep going. So around 10:15 every week.
Every week.
And I need to add the outro music because, again, I'm mobile. So.
All right, 5-leg parlay.
What'd you do?
Jets spread, Chargers money line, Browns Chiefs over, because if I argued it enough, I'm going to bet it.
You did argue it enough, yep.
Green Bay money line, and then Dolphins money line.
Nice. What? You threw 10 on it? Or what'd you throw on it?
I'm going to put, I don't even know how much money I have in this account. I'm just going to put 5.
Cool. If it was 10 to win 246. So,
okay.
Like plus 2,400 odds on that.
Nice.
All right.
And I put $5 on Raheem I'll start to score the first touchdown of the Sunday.
Nice.
Of the week.
All right.
Why not?
Cool. We'll catch you guys next week.
See you guys.
One screen.
We're still here.